In this video, we are going to look at Shatta Wale's new taxi app or ride-hailing app called Shaxi. And we are going to see 1, how easy is it to use the app? 2, how quickly do you get a ride when you request? 3, how cheap is it, especially when compared to Bolt, Uber, and Yango? And we are going to put on our reviewer's lens, criticize the app, go in depth, and see how we can help to improve the app, because we are all about promoting local content in Ghana and Africa. All these and more coming up next.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
First of all, I'd like to say the interface looks really minimal and clean, really professional, at least from the onboarding experience. So all you need is to input your phone number. Once you input your phone number, you get an SMS sent to your phone number. And then you need to provide your first name, email address, and then you also select your gender. And once you do so, you input your date of birth and you proceed. Now, I noticed that they said by proceeding you accept the terms and conditions, but there are no terms and conditions for you to click on to actually read the terms and conditions. So anyone who knows Shatta Wale on Anaba or the entire team behind the Shaxi app, please tell them to update with the terms and conditions. And also any other issues I notice, I'm going to take a screenshot and then share so that you can show to them, and then they can help to improve the app to like international standards. Now, once you pass the first onboarding details of your name, date of birth, email address, and selecting whether you are male or female, the app requests you to provide access to your location, which makes a lot of sense because it's a location-based app. And once you give access to your location, I noticed that the top part of the screen is blank, where usually you get the map showing where you are and the number of rides around. If you use like Bolt and Uber, you know what I'm talking about. And it's not there, but I noticed that after you like do your first search and you come back to the page, it loads. So my suggestion to this issue would be to ask for the location before the customer completes the onboarding, so that by the time he has inputted the name, email address, etc., right, you have the location data and you populate it, so when they land they can see the map and it's not blank. Secondly, I also didn't see any way to make payments on the app, and it's kind of very strange. I don't see a way to add my card. I don't see a way to add my Momo. I didn't see anything like that. And when you go to trips, there are no trips, right? Because I haven't done any trip and the place is blank. You could just say maybe there are no trips, request for a ride now, and put a button, a call to action button, which navigates people to the home page. And then there's also the profile where you can upload a picture. I don't really know the value of uploading a picture because it's not like a social media app where people will be viewing your profile and all those things. Today, I want to use the Shaxi app to request a ride to the Achimota Retail Center to get lunch, right? So I'm going to park my car and use this app. So I'm requesting right now, and the price seems relatively cheap, right? It seems very cheap. And so I'm going to open the Bolt app and compare. And I think they are like within the same bracket. And you can see that I'm trying very hard to find a driver and it keeps saying that no ride found, no ride found, no ride found. And it's a bit disheartening, right? Maybe because of the area, I'm around Achimota, right? So I'm also going to try this when I go to town, like to the Central Business District or Sioux areas, and see if I would be able to get a ride. Because the most important part for a business like this to succeed is for people to request a ride, get the ride, the driver takes them to their destination, they make payments, they rate the driver. That's what a ride-hailing app should be able to do. So I'm a bit disappointed. I'm going to have my lunch and then come back and keep trying and share my thoughts with you. Okay, so since the Shaxi app didn't work, I have no choice but to drive to the mall to go and get the food to eat here. So it's been about 4 days since I started this video. I shot the first part of the video. You can even see I had a haircut. I'm looking nice up. And within those 4 days, I've always tried to use the Shaxi app wherever I go. In fact, yesterday I went to the Central Business District of Accra, right? I went to Reg. And I needed to go to the Accra post office. So this is like in the center of town, right? And I was expecting to get a lot of rides if I request, right? But I didn't even get one. So on Facebook, I went to Shatta Wale's main page, right? Facebook page. And he posted this about how to use the Shaxi app for drivers, right? So there are 4 steps. The first step is to download it from whatever store, Google Play Store, Apple App Store. And then the approval process, you submit your documents, your license, your insurance, your roadworthy certificate, and those things. Then the third point, which is where all the 149 comments were centered on, It's about the daily subscription. So in order to receive ride requests, you need to pay a fee of 20 Ghana cedis. This amount will be deducted via mobile money, and this payment is for a 12-hour period. Once the transaction is approved, the driver will receive notification and will be successfully placed online to receive rides. Once expired, drivers would need to repeat the process in order to receive more rides. So if you work like 12 hours in a day, you'd pay 20 cedis, right? And I think the idea is good, right? Because I think they looked at what is the main challenge for Bolt and Uber drivers? The commissions, right? So Bolt has like a 15 to 20% commission. I stand to be corrected, and Uber has about 25%. So in a day, if you make like, let's say 300 cedis, Uber is going to take 20 to 25%, right? So 20 to 25% is about 60 cedis, right? If my math is not that bad, 60 to 75 cedis, right? So that's how much they take. Shaxi is saying you just need to pay 20 cedis and you have the freedom to make as much money as you want. We are not going to take any commissions. Now that's really good, but the assumptions that the team is making is that people are going to jump onto the platform immediately it's announced and promoted by celebrities and celebrities and things like that, right? But that's wrong. That's a very wrong assumption, because the thing is, when you're starting out a project, especially if it's a tech startup or an app, you need to have like what we call a proof of concept. You need to be able to let people come onto the platform, use it, have the experience, and then be willing to pay for it. Once they part with their money, then you have proof that somebody is willing to use it, right? So you don't make money a barrier to people using it, especially when there are alternatives which are already superpowers in the industry, like Bolt and Uber, right? So you could rather do that. Okay, come on, you make your first 5 rides and then we charge you 20 cedis or whatever. At least you know you are getting a ride. The fear for most drivers from the comments I read is that they don't know whether they will get rides or not. They're already used to using Bolt, they're already used to using Uber, Yango, etc. Right? So they don't know how many people are going to be on this app, and it's their livelihood you are talking about here. So you know this Ghanaian mentality of what if anybody wants to start a business or take a risk, they'll say what if, what if, what if, what if. So that what if mentality is making people not to pay that 20 cedis. They'll say, what if I pay the 20 cedis and I don't get any ride? Then I've lost my 20 cedis. Well, 20 cedis is actually not a lot of money, right? But to them, the fact that they will not get rides for the day, which might put food on their tables or pay their children's school fees, etc., is what they are thinking about. And it's also a legitimate concern on the side of the Shaxi business people, because they are worried, you know, some drivers may not pay, right, if they give them the commission-based model. Because even for like Bolt and Uber, drivers still don't want to pay the commissions, especially if they receive the money by cash, right? Some delay and then they have to be suspended and stuff like that. For them, they don't mind. They'll move to the next platform. So for Shaxi to avoid that scenario, they want to take the money up front. And the people also don't know if they are going to be riders. So then it's a stalemate, right? Nobody is making any progress. My advice to the business team and Shatta Wale, Nanaba, everybody if you're watching us, allow the drivers to come on and to experience the power of the application, the ease of use and all that, right? You can dedicate a bit of your marketing money or your marketing budget. Let's say you dedicate 10,000 Ghana cedis, right, to a 1-month period where drivers can come in and then they pay commission or whatever. It's a risk you want to take, right? They pay the 20 cedis at the end of the day, right? Let them come in, make the business, let them see that it works. At the same time, you are promoting for riders to use the app. This is Christmas season. There are going to be a lot of concerts. People are going to travel all over and all that, right? And let the thing actually work. Because for riders, what they want is to request and find drivers. That's most of the comments. I requested, I've never gotten a driver. And the drivers are also complaining, I pay 20 cedis, but what if I don't ever get a ride? Right? So you need to be able to sacrifice and put in some money, right, which is going to cover for the risk of default if drivers don't pay, and then get at least 100 or 200 drivers on the platform, and at least let riders request and be getting it quickly, right? Quickly is the word, because I always compare Bolt and Uber and Yango, and I use like 3 or 4 phones, right? So at any point in time, I want to see if I'm requesting for the same ride, same destination, which one will deliver to me a driver fastest, because sometimes it can be an issue of life and death, it can be an emergency situation, it could be raining, you never know, right? So you need to be able to give people the guarantee, the security, the sense of trust, right? The reliability that when they request, they are definitely going to get right. That also explains to me why I didn't see any form of payment, because I'm guessing that your business model is that the riders would pay the drivers themselves. Fine, right? Fine, I don't mind. But let's fix these few things on the app. Let's push. I am willing and ready to push. If you make updates to the app, I'm ready, I'm willing to test, show you how to improve it, show you the flaws, and help to grow a local business to international standards. So let me know your thoughts about the Shaxi app in the comments below. Thanks, bebree.